Hey peoples, welcome back to my channel. My name is MSA if you are new. Today's topic is how to touch up your makeup during the day, because I often find during a typical day I will need to touch up my makeup maybe about once, but some people it can be more than that. If you have drier skin, you are very lucky, because drier skin tones makeup tends to wear for a lot longer because you don't have as much oil that will break it down. But for oily skin types, makeup doesn't last as long as the way it is. However, the blessing of having oily skin is that you're meant to age slower, so it's not all bad. There's pros and cons to each skin type. So I'm going to just show you some of the tips and tricks that I use to keep my makeup looking fresh all day. What I also do is that in my handbag, I'll usually keep about 3 brushes, and I'll keep some makeup items that just helps me to touch up very quickly. Really, it doesn't take me longer than about 2-3 minutes to touch up my makeup and I'm good to go. So if you want to learn how to touch up your makeup, please keep on watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more how-to videos and more makeup looks. Let's get started. Right, so as you can see, I am oily. I've been wearing this makeup now for about 3 to 4 hours, and there's a general sheen all over my face, but the problem area for me is generally around my nose, which just overproduces oil. So what I usually do is I have a pack of tissues in my handbag, and I'm just going to show you one of the tissues. It's usually 2-ply, which means they're 2 sheets. I split it, and then I just use 1 sheet because it's really thin. And I very gently press it on the areas that are oily, and that's just going to absorb all that excess oil. So you want to do it first before you apply powder, because if you put powder straight on, it will look super cakey. So once that's done, I very quickly go in with my face powder, and I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, and the brush I'm just using is just a contour brush by Real Techniques. I usually keep a small one in my handbag in a small makeup purse, and then I just go in to add extra powder to all those areas that are getting oily. I'm just focusing this on my T-zone. Obviously, if you have dry skin and if your foundation is still looking good, don't touch it. I think dry skin tones don't need as much touching up during the day. You're just blessed if you have dry skin. You're just blessed, trust me. Okay. And you want a powder that doesn't have too much color on it, and that way it just stops it from looking cakey, because I can build this up and it's not going to look like too much. Okay, so I think that's good. And I just want to show you another powder that you can use. This is by NYX. This is their HD translucent finishing powder, and I use this, and on my skin it doesn't give me a white cast or nasty flashback, so this is another option for you. Okay, so the face is mattified, so the next thing I'm going to do is to fix my blush. I'm going to just use a blush brush. Again, this is by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to apply just a bit more of the blush on the areas I originally applied it, because sometimes that can just fade a little bit during the day. I'm just using a light amount. I think the key is use very light layers, because if you go in heavy-handed, that's when your makeup will look very cakey. Okay, I'm happy with that. So next I'm going to fix my highlighter, and I'm just using a highlighting brush, and just again on the high points of my face, because again, highlighter, I feel sometimes, depending on the brand, it can just lose its intensity as the day goes on. Just going to put a bit just on the tip of my nose, and I like a little bit on my Cupid's bow as well. I went overboard, so I'm just going to get a Q-tip and take off that excess. Okay, so we've done face, we've done blush, we've done highlighter, and then next is just to look at the eye area. Now, if you apply your eyeshadows really well, they really shouldn't be budging. So watch some of my other tutorials where I show you what I do around my eyes. And I think the most important step is apply a primer, first of all, before you put your eyeshadows on. But I tend to find the things that can wear very easily are eyeliners. So make sure you're using a waterproof one, just to prevent your natural tears from making it smudge. And if you need to, go in and just intensify your eyeliner. Thankfully I don't have to do a lot with this one because this is a really good long-lasting eyeliner. I'm actually going to be doing a tutorial soon on how to do a winged liner, so I'll talk a little bit more about perfecting your winged liner technique. Then the next thing is just to touch up your lipstick. I don't really need to do a lot because I freshly put on my lipstick and lip gloss, so but I'm just going to demonstrate. I'm just going to dab on just the tiniest bit and just rub that together. And then the last step to just lock everything in is to put on a little bit more of your finishing spray. I have very oily skin, so I use the matte finishing spray by NYX. This stuff is really good. So just spraying that all over my face. If you have dry skin, I highly recommend that you pick up Fix Plus. This is by MAC. This stuff is fantastic for refreshing skin and moisturizing it, but it's also very lightweight. So when you spray this on, it just brings your foundation back to life. It makes it look like you only applied it a few minutes ago. So it's an essential for drier skin types. And I think that is about it. Pretty simple. I only really touch up about once a day, and that is down to the fact that I know how to apply my makeup really well. So if you're wanting to learn how to apply your makeup well, just watch some of my videos and I'll go through the steps. I'm also planning to do an updated foundation routine so that you can see how I do my foundation. But usually when I put on my makeup, I'm wearing it for usually a minimum of 12 hours, sometimes up to 18 hours. So yeah, so touch-ups for me are a minimum. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. Don't forget to drop me a like down below, drop me some comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.